Hi folks, Josh Wolf with Wolf Vintage Watches here. Welcome to my shop. In this video, we're going to take a look at a Hamilton Thinline from the late 1960s. Let's get into it. If you're new to the channel, I post vintage watch content weekly. Please consider subscribing so you don't miss any videos. And if you enjoy this video, please click the like button. It really helps out the channel. Alright, on to the basic specs of the Hamilton Thinline. The watch is 32.7 millimeters wide, excluding the crown. It's 8.3 millimeters thick to the top of the acrylic crystal, and the lug-to-lug is 39.5 millimeters. The lug width is 17.5 millimeters, the case is one-piece stainless steel, and the movement is a Swiss-made Hamilton manual wind caliber 686 with small seconds at the 6 o'clock. First things first, I'm not 100% sure what specific model this watch is. I pored over the vintage catalogs, combed through the forums, and generally searched high and low to confirm what this model is, all to no avail. That said, I am confident that this watch is from Hamilton's Thinline series of watches, as it has the same case as the Thinline 5003 from 1968. The only difference is the dial. The Thinline 5003 was introduced in 1968 and was produced through 1971 with at least 2 known dial variations. This wouldn't be the first uncatalogued watch that has come across my bench. This very well could have been a European-only release, for example, and would not have appeared in the American catalogs. Regardless of the model name, this is absolutely an original, genuine Hamilton. As the name suggests, Hamilton's Thinline series of watches were designed to capitalize on the prevailing trend of thin watches. First introduced in 1958 and running all the way through 1974, there are dozens of models in the lineup. The Thinline series ran the gamut of case materials, case shapes, and manual wind calibers. Yellow gold filled, solid yellow gold, stainless steel, round case, tank style, TV style, sweep seconds, sub-seconds. There was a Thinline model for every style and taste, with the common thread of them all being very thin. As mentioned, this Thinline model has a one-piece stainless steel case. This means that I had to take the dial and movement out the front when I serviced the watch. I'll be posting a video soon of that service, so please subscribe if you want to see that. The case back does have some minor pitting and scratching, but I was happy to see that the case hasn't been over-polished through the years. The edges are still sharp and the hallmarks stamped on the back are still clear and deep. Another pleasant surprise is that there is no marring where somebody attempted to open the case back. More often than not, there will be case knife marks along this edge on the case back where a less experienced person thinks the watch is opened. Fortunately for this watch, that hasn't happened. In fact, since there are no watchmaker's marks inside the case, this watch may not have been opened since the late 1960s when it left the factory. An original signed crown is icing on the cake for me. This watch has a split stem, meaning there is a male and female part that make up the stem. The crown, if it's pulled too hard, like harder than feels comfortable by hand, can separate the two halves of the stem. This can lead to a lost original crown that will need to be replaced, along with a male half of the stem. Not impossible, but definitely a pain to find those parts. Moving on to the dial, this watch has applied baton markers and 12 and 6 numeral markers. I love the font of the 12 and 6 on this dial. The handset on this watch appears to be original with very light patina visible. The silver dial is also clear of any major patina, which further confirms my suspicion that this watch hasn't seen a tremendous amount of wrist time. The minute track is painted, as are the crosshairs for the sub-second dial. And of course so is the H and the Hamilton logo at 12 o'clock. Overall, I'd say this is a very clean, elegant dial, almost minimalistic in appearance. Being a one-piece case, the dial and movement are held in place by the acrylic crystal. To keep the watch thin, this is a low-domed acrylic crystal. I really love acrylic crystals. Sure, they pick up scratches here and there, but it's a snap to polish them up. Plus, they just look great. I have this Thinline on an unworn, genuine leather 2-piece strap with silver tone buckle. Speaking of the crystal, let me pop it off so I can take out the movement and get a good look inside this little guy. The 686 is a Swiss-made movement with 17 jewels. It's based on the A-Shield caliber 1200 a movement which shockingly you can still buy brand new today. It is hand wind without any complications and has small seconds at the 6 o'clock. Also of note, the caliber 686 features shock-protected balance jewels. I serviced and restored this movement in October 2020. I'll be posting a video of that service soon, so if that's something you'd be interested in seeing, please do subscribe and hit the notification bell to catch it when it comes out. I've received a few questions about the robustness of vintage watches. Even though this watch likely has never been serviced in 50 plus years, I have it back up and running again with nothing more than a trip to the spa. The quality and craftsmanship of vintage Hamilton ensure that these watches will continue to run and bring joy to collectors for years to come. There you have it, a Hamilton Thinline, likely from the late 1960s. A Swiss-made manual wind movement, a one-piece stainless steel case, an acrylic crystal, and cool all over. Its simple, elegant, and classy design is timeless, and I'm glad I was able to give it new life. To see this and many other watches I have for sale, please check out wolfvintagewatches.com. Link is in the description below. As always, thank you very much for watching. To support me and my channel, please remember to subscribe, like, and share, and leave your comments and questions below. See you next time. Bye.